ABC News has just projected, Catherine, that Nikki Haley has won the Vermont Republican primary based on an analysis of the vote. What does that mean, if anything, to the Trump team and to Trump himself, who tends not to like losing? And is he going to call the vote rigged up there?
Well, you kind of called it there, Terry, when you were talking about this just moments ago, that even though it's essentially been a clean sweep for Donald Trump, he certainly isn't going to like losing that state. Who knows ultimately what he will say, but talking to sources close to Trump and those who were at least watching the vote come in with Trump, this is something that they had their eye on since the very beginning of the night. Vermont, this is something his campaign aides were watching closely, that Trump was watching closely. I'm told he was watching the results come in the residence at Mar-a-Lago before making his way down, at least behind the scenes, to mingle with donors and campaign staff and elected officials. So we'll have to see what he says about that. But what's clear from his remarks, Terry, that he gave moments ago here at Mar-a-Lago is that he didn't mention Haley once by name. He has been not mentioning her lately, trying to take the attention off of her towards the general election. So that's at least what his campaign aides are telling him, to focus on the general election. Who knows ultimately what Haley's next steps are and what she ultimately says, if this changes her calculus with this win. But certainly Vermont is a state that the Trump campaign and Trump himself were watching closely.
All right, Catherine, if I can draw on all the reporting that you're doing on the various Trump trials and legal cases, you know, so far he's been using that to his political advantage, but I want to talk about money. It takes a lot of money to run for president, and Trump is spending a lot legally. How does the money factor in his legal cases, including the fines and the penalties that he's been assigned by juries and judges, how does that play into his ability to raise money to fund a presidential campaign against an incumbent president?
Well, it's a great question, and of course all of those judgments that ultimately he may have to pay, where is he going to get that money? There's questions about how liquid Trump really is, but it's fascinating on the donor front as it relates to the legal bills. We know he's paid millions and millions of dollars in his legal bills. Some of those donors are, quite frankly, wondering where their money is going. I know that there were at least a couple Trump lawyers over at Mar-a-Lago today who were mingling with donors, perhaps to reassure them that their money was going somewhere good, if you will. But we know, and as we've been reporting, that a lot of that money that's going to Trump's super PAC, millions and millions and millions of dollars, is being paid to these lawyers, Terry, who we see in federal court almost weekly at this point, whether it be in this state, in Washington, D.C., in Georgia, in New York. So certainly the financial burden of this, whether it be money that Trump has to pay, whether it be his legal fees that he will continue to pay, it's certainly weighing on him, and something that's at least the front of his mind as he moves this campaign forward into the general election. Absolutely. That is going to be a challenge going forward. Catherine Faulders, thanks very much reporting on the Trump campaign down there in Florida.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.